Hi there, hope you're having a pleasant day wherever you may be. Today I'm going to check out some rock art. I'm at the Three Rivers Petroglyphs in southern New Mexico. Three Rivers Petroglyph Site is located about 17 miles north of Tularosa and about 40 or so miles north of White Sands in southern New Mexico. So what exactly is going on here? Well, the short answer is this is a large collection of petroglyphs. Petroglyphs being rock carvings, or more accurately, rock peckings in the shape of different things, whether it be animals or a lot of the shapes we don't even know. These particular carvings are believed to have been done by the Mogollon people, specifically the Jornada Mogollon. It's believed that the Mogollon inhabited this region of sort of southern New Mexico, eastern Arizona, and northern Mexico from the years 200 to about 1450. As far as these petroglyphs, estimates kind of run between about 600 and about 1,000 years ago, roughly. The Mogollon are considered a prehistoric tribe, and as far as I can tell, they can't trace any lineage of the current tribes to the Mogollon. And sort of as an aside, the Mogollon are also known for a very distinct type of pottery with certain distinct designs and things like that. In the Tularosa Basin, where the petroglyphs sit, there was sort of this ridge of volcanic rock that over time develops a sort of glaze over it that oxidizes, and that makes prime location for petroglyphs. They can just kind of scrape away, peck away that oxidized layer, revealing a lighter layer and making it into all sorts of intricate designs. Now there are over 20,000 petroglyphs here at this particular site, making it one of the largest of the Mogollon sites around, and it also means that pretty much wherever you look, you're going to see something on a rock. It's a really cool, you know how I'm a sucker for a good petroglyph site? Well, this is a good petroglyph site. Images like this one of a four-legged animal with sort of geometric designs in the body are very similar to the ceramics that have been found and identified as Mogollon. A real common shape of the petroglyphs found here are circles, and specifically circles that have little dots around them. There's so many here that they say it accounts for upwards of 10% of the 20,000 petroglyphs here. They say that the Jornada style of face tends to be kind of round with almond-shaped eyes and a triangular nose. And there's a couple that they point out here, and yeah, it seems to hold up. That's what they tend to look like. One of them even seems to have earrings on it. What's kind of cool is that some of the petroglyphs are kind of put on the edge of rocks, like this face here. Kind of gives it a three-dimensional feel, almost like the pamphlet says, almost like it gives life to the rock. As far as visiting here, like I said, the nearest town is Tularosa, which is about 17 miles away, and then about 10 miles from there is Alamogordo, which is a town that has everything you need. This is a fee area, so it costs $5 per vehicle, unless you have one of a couple of different passes, including the America the Beautiful Pass, which I always highly encourage getting. It's $80 for the year and unlimited use for admission into national parks and national monuments. It's a great investment. Once you get here, there is a petroglyph trail, which is 1 mile out, so out and back is 2 miles. It's pretty clearly marked. It is kind of rocky, so you got to watch your step. And you also have to watch your step to not step on petroglyphs. There's so many petroglyphs here that when you start walking, especially when you start walking onto the social trails that have kind of, developed, watch your step because any rock you step on might have a petroglyph on it. I wouldn't describe the trail as terribly strenuous. However, I can imagine it being very hot out here, so make sure and bring your water, bring sturdy shoes. When you get to the end of the 1 mile, I think they know that a lot of times it's hot here, so there's a little shaded area for a little rest and recharge for the walk back. There's actually another trail here that'll lead you across the street and over to the location of a Mogollon village that was inhabited about 1,000 years ago. Now, the reason why I say the location is because, yes, you can see 3 recreated houses, which are more or less pits of varying degrees of architecture. But there's not a lot of like actual old artifacts to look at. There are some kiosks to read, which are very interesting and give you a little more information on Mogollon life. But overall, not a lot of like the real tangible things to look at here. And before you hit the trail, make sure and grab one of these. Again, if I sound smart, it's because of this. It has a lot of information. It also has about 11 different sites on the trail that are clearly marked. It helps us describe a little bit more in detail of what you're looking at. However, with that said, sometimes the little marker gets you in the area and you still kind of got to hunt for where the actual petroglyph is. One of them was kind of on top of a rock, and that kind of caught me. It took me a while to find that one. But just overall, I would say just take your time as you're on the trail for a couple of reasons. First one being safety. You want to make sure and watch your step. And 2, just to admire this. It's so awesome. There's so many to look at, and it's just really neat to know that they've been here for so long and they'll be here for a lot longer. Of the handful of petroglyph sites I've been to, I always enjoy the ones where I can kind of tell what they're trying to draw, whether it be animals or people or things like that. When they're just random shapes, yeah, they're interesting, but it's a little disengaging. This one has enough of faces and animals and different shapes and things where it's like, oh, I think I see what they're going for, and it just draws you in that much more and makes it that much more enjoyable. It goes without saying that this is an archaeological site. The Petroglyph Trail does take you right up to the petroglyphs within arm's reach, but don't touch them, don't disturb them, don't carve into the rocks. I saw, just like any petroglyph site, you always see people scratching their names and stuff like that. Don't do that, don't ruin it for the rest of the people. Just leave it be, enjoy it, and leave it for the next person. Well, that does it for this one. Thanks for joining me on this trip to Three Rivers Petroglyph Site. Hope you found it interesting. Hope you found it informative. And like I said earlier, it's not terribly far from White Sands National Park. So if you're going to visit there, come on, swing by here, take a look at these, and enjoy it. With that said, I guess I'll see you on the next one. If I had to guess, I feel like this is evidence of vandalism. Maybe somebody saw one that they liked, decided to cut it out. I could be wrong. Maybe it's a natural breakage, but I don't know, cutting the petroglyph in half, straight line like that, I have my doubts.